Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I wanted to try to record a video. The reason why I haven't done videos recently is the recording software I'm using wasn't working anymore with YouTube for whatever reason. I also have issues where it crashed, and a bunch of stuff was happening where it just got frustrating whenever I tried doing this. And also been writing a lot of articles, so it's kind of been a time crunch between college and writing, and then having issues that are just frustrating. So I'm going to try this one more time, see if this works. But with the NFL draft coming up, I wanted to do kind of a spur of the moment type draft. I'm not going to be doing a lot of research. I'm going to be trying to fit this into like 10 minutes, 11 minutes. And we're going to be using, what's it called? Draft Network to run a first round mock draft and see how it goes. Should be good. All right. The first pick for me, I think it's clear cut. The first pick has to be Joe Burrow. I don't think there's any other option at this point. I know there's been some talk about he forced his way out of the Bengals because he doesn't want to be in Cincinnati. He doesn't want to play for that team because they are losing a lot. They don't have a great organization. But at the same point, I just think that's a lot of noise. I think there's no way he doesn't go to Cincinnati. That's a done deal in my opinion. Washington's interesting because this is where things actually get complicated because the Redskins could take Chase Young, which is the best player on the board. They'll have an overwhelming amount of pass rushers almost because it says they need an edge. They're really when they got Ryan Kerrigan, they got Darren Payne. Who else? I got one guy's name I can't say because I just messed up the pronunciation. They got Jonathan Allen. Let me actually pull that up. So they have a good defensive front. They got some good pass rushers. I don't know why they're saying edge rusher is the biggest need for them. It really isn't. Even with Ryan Kerrigan getting older. I mean, they just took Montez Sweat last year. And then who else they had? This guy, right, I can't say his last name, so I'm not going to even try, but he had a good year too. So they've got pass rushers. So I don't believe edge rusher is the biggest need. Could Dwayne Haskins become like a Josh Rosen type player where 1 year after you take in the first round, a new coaching staff comes in and decides to move on from him? That could happen. It could be a situation where Tua gets picked number 2 overall by Washington and Haskins gets traded. On the other hand, I think this is also a spot where the Redskins might trade down with someone because someone might be trying to get up there and get Tua and secure Tua. So this could be a scenario where the Redskins trade down and get some more picks. But we're not doing any trades for this one, so I'm just going to have them taking Chase Young because I don't think they're going to take Tua. I really don't. But there's always a chance. The Lions have a lot of chances here, a lot of opportunities to pick players. Because if you look at the guys who are still on the board, Okudah, Isaiah Simmons, they've got guys who are elite defensive players, Derek Brown even from Auburn. So they've got options here. I'm going to have him taking Okudah. I think he's the best cornerback in the draft by far. I don't think it's even close. Isaiah Simmons is good too, but with the issues they have with Darius Slay currently in Detroit, they really need a cornerback because they're going to eventually move on from Slay. New York's spot, I've seen a lot of people say taking CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver. Really what they need is an offensive line, though, because you got to build the offensive lineup before you can start building elsewhere. And so I am taking Jedrick Wills here. That lets Tua fall to Miami, and this is Miami's dream scenario. Los Angeles is interesting because quarterback-wise, it depends on what happens in free agency a little bit, or what they get the feeling they're going to be able to do in free agency. So they could easily find a guy, or they could easily trade for a guy, considering all the guys who are available. Even guys like Andy Dalton and Cam Newton, who might be on potential trade candidates. And you got all the free agent guys who are out there right now. Teddy Bridgewater, Ryan Tannehill, Tom Brady even. But I still think they're going to take the quarterback of the future in Justin Herbert. Now it's Carolina's turn to pick. How do I get back to there it is. For Carolina just lost Luke Kuechly. I think Isaiah Simmons now is probably the best player on the board. Either him or Derek Brown at this point. I'll have them take Isaiah Simmons. Now here's where we get to the point where you need wide receivers. They also need interior defensive linemen, so Derek Brown's the guy who I would consider at this spot. But Larry Fitzgerald was your best receiver last year, even with Christian Kirk flashing some potential. That really didn't happen. And Arizona drafted a lot of receivers last year, and they really didn't work out from this past year. I feel they need a receiver who can come in and make an immediate impact, and that's Jerry Jeudy right now. Jacksonville's another really weird one. Because depending on how I think they're going defense no matter what. I think they're going defense. Or what, the typical wide receiver, I think it's really going to be a defensive player here. And depending on how the chips fall, you could easily end up with Isaiah Simmons or Derek Brown coming to the spot. So it's a scenario where I'm not really sure who's going to end up here in real life. But there's not a cornerback on the board who I think is worthy of being selected this high besides Jeffrey Okudah, who's already gone. There's no real linebacker I'm taking with a top 10 pick besides Isaiah Simmons. So I'm going to have Derek Brown going here, even if that's not the best fit, but he's the best player available. Browns have to be offensive linemen. It's got to be an offensive lineman. They cannot continue doing Browns things. They need an offensive lineman. It's either going to be Tristan Wirfs or Mekhi Becton. I'm going with Wirfs. The Jets have 4 offensive linemen who are key players from last year who are going to free agency. This also needs to be an offensive lineman. We'll go Mekhi Becton. The Raiders. They need a wide receiver pretty bad. And they also need linebacker where they can get linebacker later in the draft. Same with cornerback. They don't really need that right now. CeeDee Lamb is arguably the best receiver in the draft. It's between him or Jerry Jeudy. If he's still on the board at 12, that's good for them. Now, the Colts need someone to play alongside T.Y. Hilton. They really don't need an offensive lineman. They do need a quarterback. Jacoby Brissett's not winning Super Bowl with that team. He can barely get into the playoffs, in my opinion. They also need defensive linemen. I don't think there's a defensive lineman. I mean, it's saying Chase Young's up there, but I don't really like him from LSU. I think he's going to fall much farther. With wide receiver being the top pick, well, actually, no, there's actually a guy. I'm taking Javon Kinlaw here. I think Javon Kinlaw is one of the best players in this draft. I think he's a top 10 player in the draft. But if he's available at 13 for Indianapolis, that's a great pick. And that kind of leaves Tampa Bay out of luck because Javon Kinlaw would have been a great fit there, especially with Ndamukong Suh hitting free agency. But Tampa Bay can still go and get the last remaining offensive tackle, who I think is really good, a really set piece for this draft, and that's Andrew Thomas. Denver can go a lot of directions here. Cornerbacks, a situation where they might go, but they just got A.J. Bouye in a trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Garrett Bowles at tackle has not been performing for them, but at the same time, you need someone to play along Cortland Sutton. It's really a mixed scenario here. There's a lot of places you could go. Denver's kind of in the same class as Jacksonville. You've got a lot of potential picks at the spot. But considering they got A.J. Bouye, it kind of fixes their cornerbacks. Well, it doesn't really fix the cornerback spot. It gives them a little bit more time. This is not a pick I've had in the past, but I think they can get Henry Ruggs here, honestly, if that's what we're looking at. Edge rusher, it's got to be an edge rusher here for Atlanta. I think it's definitely going to be edge. Again, I'm not a huge fan of any of these guys, to be honest. Once we get past Chase Young, I'm really not a huge fan of any of these edge rushers. I think Chase Young probably has a higher ceiling than Epinesa, but Epinesa is more consistent, so it's kind of like a toss-up here. I really don't like any of these guys going in the first round, to be honest, but we can go with the Iowa edge rusher. And then we got Dallas. I think Dallas could go corner, but the corners after, really after Okudah, it's kind of shifty. These two guys up here, in my opinion, are numbers 2 and 3. I just don't know what the order. Some people are high on Jeff Gladney. I'm not really high on him. I think Trevon Diggs and AJ Terrell are potentially better in the long run. But I'm actually going to go safety here. I'm just going to give him the pick everyone wants him to have, and that's Xavier McKinney. All right, now we get back to Miami. Who is on the board? Yeah, this is a situation where I could see him taking Chase on. Even if I don't like him necessarily as a player, I think this is a situation where I could totally see Miami making that move. And now Oakland wants a cornerback. Match with Trayvon Mullen. These are two best ones available. I like C.J. Henderson a little more. I think he's a little more consistent. I think Fulton has some potential flaws that could really hurt this game in the long run. But speaking of Fulton, now we've got the team that just got rid of A.J. Bouye and Jalen Ramsey. And now in the 20s, this is a much better spot. Take the corner, and you can get Fulton here. That leaves Philadelphia with the top 3 receivers off the board. They could take a Chenault, they could take a Justin Jefferson, even a T. Higgins maybe. Brandon Ayuk's another guy who I like as a potential first-round pick. I think Grant Delpit, though, probably is the best one for them. Best value at that spot. That leaves Buffalo needs an edge guy. I've already said I don't really like the edge rushers in this class. I really don't. I think receivers play a better option. They've got Cole Beasley and John Brown. Those guys aren't really top tier receivers. I like a guy like T. Higgins at this spot because he's a big receiver. Even if maybe he's not the best, most talented receiver left on the board, I think Higgins will match well with Josh Allen. I can just see T. Higgins and Josh Allen connecting on those deep passes he likes to throw. Because Allen's going to throw those anyways. You might as well give him a receiver who can actually make those catches. Let's go quarterback here. Let's make it a little interesting. Let's go quarterback and give him Jordan Love. So I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's a quarterback in this draft class worth a first-round pick beyond Tua and Burrow and Herbert. I think Herbert will get picked even if he's maybe not as talented as some people think he is. To be honest, that's those guys. I don't see a first-round quarterback in this draft, but I do believe 4 or 5 QBs will go in the first round. Even though that's a mistake, it's going to happen. Who are the best guys available? I still think I'm going receiver here no matter who I see. Yeah, you could go line. You could go Patrick Queen here and keep him in Louisiana, but I think this is going to be a wide receiver again. And I'm going to take Justin Jefferson, honestly, over Chanel. I'm going to take Justin Jefferson in this one. Minnesota always draft corners, and they still need corners for some reason. They never hit a scene, or at least not recently. They haven't hit on corners at all. But they need a corner. They need a bunch of stuff, but I could see them going cornerback here again, despite taking guys like Mike Hughes recently. Trey Waynes is going to be a free agent. Mackenzie Alexander is going to be a free agent. Next guy, best available, Trayvon Diggs, AJ Terrell. I'm going to probably say Trayvon Diggs in this one. Now, Miami gets the running back. They want to get DeAndre Swift because no one's going to go rushing for a running back in this draft class. I could see, now Seattle needs a lot of things, honestly. They need edge. They need a better cornerback to play the number 2 cornerback spot alongside Griffin, but they don't really have a corner available in the situation that works. I could see them taking a Turk Grossmatos, even though they took Collier last year, late in the first round. That was a mistake. I could see them doing the same thing again, making another mistake and taking another edge rusher late in the first round. But, I mean, the other option I would look at is offensive line, because they need a lot of offensive linemen, like, desperately. But again, I really don't know. There's some offensive tackles who maybe go in this range. Josh Jones is a guy I've looked at. Austin Jackson could sneak into the first round, but I don't really think they fit the needs for Seattle right now. I think they're both left tackles, and Seattle needs a right tackle. And the interior offensive line, you really don't see many of these guys are probably going to be second, third, fourth round guys, not really first round. So we'll go edge rusher, even though I don't think that's a great move. Baltimore linebacker. Kenneth Murray, in my opinion, is the best guy available. Tennessee's another team I'm having trouble picking for. I have trouble drafting for Tennessee. I think I took Austin Jackson for them in the past. That's not a pick I like. And I think I'll go on record saying it's not a pick I like that much. But I could see it happening. Again, this also is impacted by what happens with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry in free agency. It depends on how that goes. I could see Zach Bond going here, though, and getting an edge rusher. Green Bay, I would have wide receiver here. Even though Brian Bulaga is leaving, I don't know if there's a tackle who I think is qualified to fill that right tackle spot. And Laviska Shenault's on the board, so I'm taking him here. Oh, boy, San Francisco. They've got a little bit of everything there. How did Patrick Queen still end up on the board? I think I've had Oakland taking a linebacker in the past. I didn't have him do that this year. I think I haven't took this year. This time, I think I had him take a corner instead. Usually I have him take a linebacker. So Patrick Queen's a guy who I think is a first-round caliber pick. Will still be available. San Francisco does not need a linebacker. They need some cornerback help. I'm taking AJ Terrell here. I also go to Clemson, so that's a little bit of a homer pick, but I don't really care. That's fine with me. And then J.K. Dobbins closes out this draft. And that's the end. That's my mock. That's a mock I just did randomly. I didn't really have much prep for it. I didn't look at a lot of depth charts, so maybe some stuff's wrong. But to me, this is what I can do, like off the cusp. This is what I can see happening in the 2020 NFL Draft.